So I received a comment on a TikTok video that I did a few weeks ago, and it's really stuck with me. And the comment said something like this: I don't know what abuse is. I don't know how to qualify what's abuse and what's not abuse. The things you're describing just seem normal to me. And my heart completely broke. But at the same time, I was like, man, this is important. And clearly it needs to be talked about. So today we're going to talk about why abuse feels normal and what we can do to begin to break this unhealthy pattern. So the first question to ask is, why does abuse feel normal in the first place? And the short answer is, it was taught to you that it was normal. Generations prior were not taught how to properly raise and handle children. They were taught a very authoritarian, do as I say, sit down, shut up type of parenting style. This has led to a lot of things that are abusive to be pulled into the mainstream as seen as normal. Things like gaslighting and manipulation, things like mocking and making fun of, as well as in some cases, even physical abuse. From a young age, when those who care about you are also doing things that hurt you, you are taught that those things are love. You see love as abuse. And even though you can't quantify that as abuse yet, that's exactly what's happening. So currently, if you are someone who doesn't recognize what's abuse and what's not abuse, I want you to know that you're 100% not alone. This was a camp that I definitely was in for quite a while. And it wasn't until I began to really get all of the education that I've gotten over the last several years that my life really began to change. The dangerous part about this is that when we see that love equals abuse, we are naturally going to be drawn to people that keep us in that comfortable place. Now, when I say comfortable, I am not saying that we enjoy being abused, but our brain naturally has something that it gravitates towards. And when our brain is thinking, okay, love, what is love? Love is abuse, and love is physical assault, and love is manipulation. Where can I find that? I just need to get that chemical hit because I want to experience that love. It's going to naturally gravitate towards people that are going to provide that definition of love. This is why a lot of people who have been abused as children end up in abusive relationships, because this is just what their brain has deemed as normal. So if you are someone who has gone through that as a child, or you're beginning to recognize what you went through as a child, and you have this pattern of abusive relationships, it makes 100% sense. No, you are not broken. No, it's not healthy, and I'm not pretending that it is. But the first step to healing is recognizing that you're not broken and you are not crazy. You are a product of the things that were taught to you from a very young age. And even when you begin to recognize that abuse is happening within a relationship, it becomes even harder to get out of. But yes, of course, aside from the abuse that you went through as a child, there's the trauma bond, there's a cognitive dissonance, there's your brain wanting that hit and it doesn't know what to do. It's uncomfortable, but it's comfortable and it's scared to leave. Because now it's getting conflicting messaging. It's going, okay, this hurts and I don't want this to hurt anymore, but if it doesn't hurt, it's not love. So if I want love, don't I have to stick around here? And this is where we get stuck in the abusive relationship cycle for a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Getting stuck in this cycle is far easier than it is to get out. But the first step to healing, the first step to changing the narrative inside of your brain is recognizing and having that awareness. Now that you're beginning to put these pieces together, there's been a seed planted within your brain that is going to benefit you, and that's going to begin to grow and help your brain heal from the abuse that you endured. So Karleigh, that's all fine and good, but what now? What do I do with this information now? If you relate to what we're talking about in this video so far, I have an exercise for you. This is an exercise that may not be able to be completed all at once, and I will be completely honest, it's going to take some time. But I promise you that if you do this exercise, it's really going to help you, and it's going to give you a super solid foundation to build upon. So the first thing I want you to do is go and grab a journal. Grab any journal, even just a scrap piece of paper, but grab something that you're going to hold on to, preferably pen and paper versus something virtual. I'm going to provide you with some journal prompts. Whether you want to listen all the way through and write down all the prompts and do them afterwards, or hit pause after every prompt and do this as you're working through this video. This is going to help you unlock certain things and begin to recognize what abuse is and how you want to be treated in the future. So number one, what does respect mean to you? In a perfect world, how would you be treated? How would you be touched? How would you be talked to? And number three, what would love feel like to you in a perfect world? Now, as you're writing these down, remember, the only person that's going to see these is you. These are for no one else but you. So don't feel like you need to write something that you think someone else wants to hear. Really dig deep and find the answers to these questions. Again, this could be an emotional exercise and it could be something that you can't do all at once. And that's totally okay. This is going to take time. And even after you do this list, it's not like everything's going to magically get better. But as you have this list to bounce off of, you now have a baseline, because now that you know how you want to be touched, how you want to be treated, how you want to be talked to, now you know the bare minimum to look for. And you know that these are things that you don't want to compromise on. Again, I am not saying that now everything is going to be easy, but now that you have a little bit of light, now that you can see a little bit in front of you, you're going to have the ability to begin to navigate what's abuse and what is actually love. And what I would absolutely love for you to do is comment below and let me know something that stood out to you from today's video. Did you have an aha moment? Did you learn something new? If you'd rather keep it private, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram at karleigh.lynn. I answer all of my own DMs and I absolutely love hearing from you. As you're on your healing journey, make sure you check out this video right here because it's really going to help you as you begin to heal. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and never forget that you are strong, you are capable, you are intelligent, and boo, you are so freaking worthy.